I'm Rabbi Marilee Gordon of McHenry County Jewish Congregation. This coming Thursday is the first day of the month of Nisan, which we're told in the Torah is the first month of the year, the head of the year. And we celebrate Rosh Hashanah, the new year, in the fall because those are the two times in the Middle East where the seasons change. Right now, it's about to change from the rainy season to the dry season. And around Rosh Hashanah, it changes from the dry season back to the wet season. There's really only two seasons. So, last Shabbat in synagogue, we read an extra portion of the Torah announcing what we're supposed to do for Passover, because it does take some preparation. And that has to do with not having any leavening. And the word for that in Hebrew is chametz, or chametz, in our homes. That is, anything that's made out of wheat, rye, oats, spelt, or barley. So I have been going through the freezer to see, do I have any cookies in there, any muffins, any bread that I need to use up in the next couple of weeks. And then, of course, we have to put in our store of matzah, unleavened bread. And even though matzah is made from wheat, it is cooked so quickly that it doesn't have time to rise, just as we're told in the book of Exodus, that when the people left, they didn't have time for their bread to rise. Now, actually what that means is from the time you add the water to the flour to when you take it out of the oven, no more than 18 minutes can pass. That's pretty quick. It's kind of fun to make. But the other thing we need to do in terms of food is fulfill something that we're told right near the beginning of the Seder. When we hold up the matzah, we say, "This is the bread of affliction that our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. Let all who are hungry come and eat." Now, how do we do that? We can't right there in the middle of the Seder open the door and say, "Anybody hungry?" First of all, there's probably no one out there. So what we have to do is beforehand think about what are we going to do to support people who don't have enough food. One thing that we can do is contribute to the organization Mazon. And we collect money around the high holidays for Mazon too. Mazon's the Hebrew word for food, and they collect money from the Jewish community and then distribute it to food pantries and agricultural co-ops and anything you can imagine, soup kitchens around the world, not just to Jewish communities. So that is one way we can fulfill that dictum, let all who are hungry come and eat. Now, a little closer to home, we have Ma'ot Chitim, which is a group there in Chicago that collects money and then purchases food for needy Jews to have the food they need for the particular holiday. So you can look both of these organizations up online and make a donation, and thereby you are letting those who are hungry come and eat. The other thing I like to do is, if I have food stuff in the pantry that hasn't been opened, but it's chametz, I take it over to the food pantry right before Passover, so that somebody can benefit from the fact that I just bought too much chametz this year. So those are things to think about this week in terms of Passover, this week when we have 2 weeks left. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about what does your Seder look like and what are you meant to get out of the Seder. So get going on your preparations because it's Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the beginning of the month of Nisan.